We're the first people ever to attempt the impossible, to actually fly a house with balloons. Our flying house will sit on a lightweight base. This base is just like the gondola beneath a hot air balloon, and it's Paul's job to design it.
It looks something like this. It's a flat platform. There are beams underneath it, 2 running this way and 2 running this way. The balloons are attached via ropes. They pull up on the beams and lift our gondola and our house.
Well, Paul's trying to figure out how to build a gondola. I have to figure out how to build the house around it. I'm gonna have weight restrictions, and I'm also gonna have to figure out how to make it on time.
We've got just 10 days left to complete this challenge.
So far, we have 8-foot balloons, a design for a lightweight house, and a truckload of helium. But we're missing a key ingredient. To fly a house like they did in the film, we need people on board to pilot it. I've made some calls, and there are 2 balloon pilots who might just be crazy enough to help us out. This is Jonathan Trapp. In May of 2010, he strapped himself to a cluster of helium balloons and flew across the White Cliffs of Dover and the English Channel. I'm hoping he'll agree to our crazy scheme.
Hello? How are you? Nice clips you have here.
And Troy Bradley has held over 58 world records, flying every type of balloon known to man.
I think it's an excellent idea. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Our gondola design, as it stands now, is about 16 feet square. The ropes basket and area, 12 feet square.
Okay.
And then we'll put a house on the top of it with a hole in the roof for the balloons.
I think it sounds like a very reasonable design and actually sturdier than some balloon baskets. I think you guys have thought it all out.
With our final ingredient in place, we're ready for a record.
This is a huge, huge project and definitely the biggest cluster balloon to ever fly.
So you're going to make cluster ballooning history.
There you go.
Troy's seal of approval means I can go out and buy the materials for the house. I've bought lightweight aluminum for the frame of the house and plywood to cover the roof and walls.
I think what I have here is a sample of pretty much the lightest building materials I could possibly find, so we can actually make this thing still fly and look like a house.
Oh, look, Doc's been here all night.
Wow.
What's up, buddy?
When did you get here?
Earlier.
So is this one of the walls?
It's one of many.
As I put these walls together, I'm starting to have doubts about the strength of the materials I bought.
These aluminum studs, I mean, they're really light, but if you flick them with your finger too hard, they'll just bend right in half. The plywood's, you know, it's great because you can cut it with a knife, but it's also so flimsy you can put your thumb right through it if you wanted to.
This is not very heavy. At all.
I'm hoping that by gluing and screwing these 2 materials together, they'll become much, much stronger than they are on their own.
It still gets you thinking just how scary it is to put 2 people's lives in the hands of such wimpy materials.
With 5 days left to go, Paul's gondola parts are ready for assembly.
Nice work, Paul.
Thank you. These are our gondola makings.
That's all your hard work right there, all set up.
Sure is.
I guess now we're done with planning for the time being. It's just time to pop some rivets. Like about, what, 2,000 of them?
Yeah, on that order.
All right, let's do it.
Let's see.
So I need to...
I'm setting up these rivets right now. We're going to be doing this a lot. This is one of just 6 beams with approximately 500 rivets per beam. This is going to be a really long day of riveting.
How you feeling, Paul? You happy?
Excited to see this come together.
Pretty darn neat.
All right, man.
Let's stand in the middle.
All right, Paul, hop down. Let's do this again 10 more times.
The machines at the metal shop have done their job. The rivet holes line up perfectly.
While he's doing this, then he's got to
nice.
But here's where we make our first really stupid mistake. If we are really going to make aviation history and fly a house with balloons, then we need everything to go to plan. 3 days to launch and we've made our first mistake, and it's a doozy. Our house is designed to sit on 4 16-foot beams. Each one is made up of shorter pieces joined together using these metal joining plates and nuts and bolts. These plates have to be installed before the beams are riveted together. And guess what? On the first beam, we forgot.
See, the problem is we got a little bit overzealous, and we forgot to put the plate in before we built the beams. So we can get the first one in, but the second one's going to be kind of hard unless you have like an 8-foot long arm to pick up those bolts. So, you know, we're going to have to figure out a solution for that. We'll have to improvise something.
Paul had no time to write the instruction manual for this build, so boxing ourselves in is an everyday hazard.
A smarter bunch of guys would have probably remembered to put these plates in before they riveted the beams together, but anyway,
We're not them.
here we are.
Our solution is to glue the bolts to the plate so we can tighten them from just the outside.
Right now, everyone's watching this and thinking, those idiots.
The glue holding some of the bolts has failed, so we need to tighten them from the inside of the beam. It looks like we'll need those 8-foot arms after all.
You didn't look at me. You really are going to tape a wrench to a stick.
Absolutely.
Let's see how this goes. Is this
Paul, I'm not questioning your dexterity, but I'm questioning your dexterity.
Bottommost, bottom right, as you look at the... This is actually really hard.
That's the understatement of the week.
If these beams were to fail during the flight, our pilots would plummet to the ground.
Get ready.
We have to get this right.
There's one.
Wait for it.
Fishing with Paul. Fishing with Paul.
There, I got it.
Right.
5th one down.
Yeah.
Good fishing, Paul.
On it.
Crisis averted.
With the all-important beams joined together, we should finish the gondola, or base of our flying house, before the end of the day.
This is looking good. This is looking like the frame of a flying house. All right,
No. Well, they're not going to be able to complain that they don't have enough space.
That's for sure.
This really beats a stupid wicker basket.
I guess we'll find out about that.
My only concern now is with the floor. It's kind of bouncy. It's like a wrestling ring or a trampoline.
Our balloonist Troy has come back to check on progress. And this time, he's brought co-pilot Jonathan Trapp and ground crew chief Nydia Ramirez with him.
Hey, guys.
Hey, it looks like a floor.
Wow.
Can we get on it? Try it out? It's going to be a hell of a view.
It's an excellent design. You guys did a fantastic job.
And it's substantial.
Yeah,
Well,
substantial.
it's going to take a lot more than this, you know?
Yep.
I'm holding my breath that the flexibility of the base isn't a problem.
For landing, that's actually a good thing because it'll give you a little bit of give.
It turns out I needn't have worried.
We appreciate that you built that in.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
That's for sure.
We are a considerate bunch of guys.
There you go.
Okay, so are there sides to this structure?
Do you want to get one out, Kyle?
That there is.
I see them. Okay.
It's a basic framed house, just with, you know, the lightest materials that we could get.
Possible.
That's really all there is to it.
Jonathan and Troy are considering flying as high as 10,000 feet. Speaking of
To do that, they need a license from the Federal Aviation Authority. Luckily, Jonathan is good buddies with them.
Actually, here's the thing. A lot of these guys in the FAA, the reason they're in the FAA is because they love things that fly. And they love interesting things that fly. And we're right up their alley.
Troy's main concern is the landing. It's the most dangerous part of the flight.
My hope is to have a landing that this structure actually survives and, and we come through unscathed as well.
That film, the Disney Pixar film Up, it's a delightful movie. I mean, it's, for a lighter-than-air guy, this is a dream. And recreating that film in the real world is an unparalleled experience.